like to welcome Laura McDonald, rules that apply to everyone.
Fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. I recently took a small break from Toastmasters over the summer, and before I did, I had all kinds of topics laid out for this project number 3. But in light of some of the things that have happened over the summer, I thought I'd switch my tack a little bit, and I'm going to do my best to entertain you and to try to persuade you that not only is there no substitute for paying attention at all times, but the tried and true rules apply to everyone, even me. So as many of you know, last year I did my first icebreaker speech, and 2009 found me training for an event of my life, which was my first Ironman distance triathlon. Well, I did that race in November of last year, and just as I had suspected, it was probably one of the crowning achievements of my life. I was completely changed by that experience precisely because that experience changed me completely. Not to say that it wasn't a really tough race and I didn't have my problems, but it was a success. And to be perfectly honest, I think once I had a chance to recover, there was a part of me that really thought that I was invincible. I felt so strong, I thought, you know what? I'm an Ironman. What can't I do? So the future was bright. My races were wide open, and I looked into 2010 like it was just going to be a year of successes. Well, let's fast forward a little bit. It's July. July 31st is one of my biggest races of the year. It's called Vineman, and it's in the Santa Rosa wine country. July 31st fell on a Saturday, and this was the Tuesday before the race. My season had been going really well. I was training all on my own. So I get home from work, and my purpose for that day, this is Tuesday, my race is on Saturday, I'm thinking about my race, I'm visualizing my race, and my only purpose for that Tuesday after work, it was super hot outside, was to do a pre-race flight check of my bicycle and myself to make sure that everything was ready, there were no last-minute mechanical things I needed to do on my bicycle. So I get home from work, I'm thinking about my race, I'm visualizing everything, I had been down there and I had driven the course. So I'm visualizing the course, and I'm thinking about how I want my nutrition to go, and I'm thinking about my pacing strategy and all the variables I can control and perhaps the variables I can't control. And this is where I get to my first point about there's no substitute for paying attention. Well, my mind was full, just swimming with all of these things. And you know how it is when you drive to work, you can drive to work on autopilot. You're passing cars in streets, not paying attention because you know you're going to get to work. Well, I got my bike ready, made sure there was air in my tires. I had a water bottle and it was full. I was in my race gear. I had my race shoes on. I'm ready. So I get out the door. I close the door behind me. Got my keys in my pocket. There's these stairs outside. You guys can see where this is going. There's these stairs outside of my apartment. They're the stairs that I ascended up and down 1,000 times. Just 6 stairs. That's it. Thinking about my race. I put my bike on my shoulder. I've got these super slick and racy race bike shoes on. I don't use the railing that was set out for me to use. I'm thinking about my race. I'm descending down the 4 stairs. The last 2 stairs I miss altogether, and I commence to fall on top of my bicycle, sprawled out in front of the street in front of my house. So, upon realizing, much to my relief, that there was nothing wrong with my bicycle, I looked down at myself, and not only am I completely scraped up, but I have this ankle that is swelling to a disturbing size. Well, in my shock, and in my haste, I thought, you know what? This is nothing. I'm just going to spin it out. It's okay. You know, I got this race. I'm all registered. I'm just going to spin it out. It'll be fine. Well, I did try to spin it out. I went for my 1-hour ride. Everything was fine. But I can tell you now from experience that not only do you not spin out a sprained ankle, but it just gets worse the more pressure you put on it. Well, long story short, and this might be a subject for another speech, I did do the race on Saturday. It didn't have a run. It was just a swim and a bike, and I got through it. I planned on doing it in 6 hours, and it took me 8, so it was a really hard race for me, but I did finish. And upon returning, I thought, I'm going to count my blessings, and I'm just going to take it easy, and I'm going to take it easy on my ankle. I'm not going to bug it. I'm going to just do what's prescribed. So I did exactly what I was supposed to. For 30 days, I iced it, I elevated it, I compressed it, I took ibuprofen on a regular schedule, and after 30 days, I had no pain and no swelling. So one Sunday morning, it was early, bright and crisp, I have this 1 mile route around my house, and I proceeded very sparingly, very carefully to go for a walk run very gradually 3 times around my house. And I looked tentatively down at my ankle, no pain and no swelling. I'm good to go. But I thought, okay, I need to take it easy. And this is where we get to the second part of my speech, which is what I'm trying to persuade you that the rules apply to everyone. I did take it easy for a week, and the following week I did the same thing, only this time I went for a 4 mile run. And I thought, you know what? I am healed. I'm an Ironman. I'm healed. This is perfect. It's okay. So that was a Sunday. On Wednesday, I went for a 5 mile run. The following Thursday, I went for a 6 mile run. And that weekend, I did 9 miles on the Flume Trail up in Tahoe. So the thing is, I thought to myself, well, let me back up a little bit. If somebody were to sit down at my desk and say, Laura, how do I train for a marathon? The first thing that I would say, without pause or hesitation, is do not increase your mileage by more than 10% in order to avoid overtraining and risk of injury. I know this for a fact. But somehow, in the back of my mind, I thought, you know what? I can heal better than other people. I don't need to do this. I'm an Ironman. I never thought those thoughts to myself, but I think somewhere in my mind, that's what was going on. So that Monday, I did those 20 miles. Mind you, I increased from 4 miles to 20 miles in 1 week. And on Monday, I was walking with a friend. We were just on the street. I didn't fall. I didn't step on a rock. I didn't lose my footing. All I did was bear weight on my poor ankle, and snap, came out from under me. So now I have an overtraining injury. And this is all just to say that there is no substitute for paying attention at all the time, and the rules apply to everyone evenly.